All right, let's get more on this story. We're now joined by Department of Arts, Sports and Culture, DG, Vusumuzi Mkhize. DG, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. So we've been trying to get details about exactly where the Minister, Nathi Mthethwa, made these comments. And we were told by the Democratic Alliance he was in a meeting with officials from museums around the country on the 10th of March, where he said that he was going to take this action or propose the amendments. Just tell us exactly what the Minister is saying about the Taal Monument.
No, thanks very much, and I much appreciate the opportunity to clarify the issue. What is being alleged now is devoid of all truths. On that day, when the Minister had a meeting with all the entities to sign what we call a shareholder compact, what indicated there was, when we were discussing transformation in terms of the country and how we can deal with this on the entities in particular, focusing on what the revised white paper is also telling us about amalgamation of entities. In that meeting, what was then raised was that when it comes to the issue of languages, we had what we call English Museum, which was able to then change its name to Amazwi in order to accept the South African reality. This was also then said that you have the African Style Museum in a midst where you also have a lot of Xhosa speaking dominant language. How do we accommodate other languages to ensure that at the end of the day, the transformation of these particular museums, so that they are inclusive of everyone, is able to assist us in the agenda of transformation and the recognition of languages. You can't remove a language in order to promote other indigenous languages. It is a question of how do you accommodate other languages in a place where also Xhosa is a dominant language. So therefore, the request was that in that meeting, or the discussion in that meeting, was that then the Taal Museum must look into this matter so that it becomes a reflection of all South Africans, particularly where it is located, and be able to accommodate. Yeah.
So not specifically looking at the Taal Monument Museum celebrating, the Afrikaans language. You wanted to actually include different languages from this area. But ultimately, DG, that would mean changing the name Taal, because Taal is language in Afrikaans, to include the other languages. And the opposition to that is that the Taal Monument in Paarl was built in 19...
that to happen and continue to impose a reflection of a country that is divided and undermines the multiplicity and diversity of our multicultural nature as a country. So that is a wrong understanding of what we are asking. What we are saying is accommodate other languages, find a mechanism, address this issue. Minister can't instruct on this matter because the issue of the councils is, in fact, they have a fiduciary duty for them to apply their minds and be able to then see how they respond to the national question as well as policy issues. So it was about discussing this policy and see how we achieve transformation and not maintain that which divides us, because language plays a crucial role in terms of social cohesion and nation building. Exclusion is not an answer. So there is no exclusive right on a monument that can be used to reflect South Africa's multicultural diversity, and in particular on this issue, multilingualism. So there is no removal of Africans.
There's no removal, but you want to change the name to make it more inclusive, right? That's what you're saying.
No, we want them to engage as the council to discuss how they can best address this so that it is not a reflection of only Taal Museum, whether they will call it Taal Museum, whether they will decide to call it whatever, that will reflect the diversity of what we have in the Eastern Cape, in the Western Cape. It will be appreciated as a contribution towards transformation that we want in this country. Not to have only the bastions of that which was there before apartheid. 1975 never recognized the issue of indigenous languages of other people as languages anyway. So how does then museums move together with all of us in this country to achieve this transformation and reflect our diversity? So there is no need for any fear around that. English Museum, the council made a decision to have what now they're calling it Amazwi. There was no imposition. It was an understanding of what it means to live in a democratic dispensation and recognize other languages. Don't have to go and build another Zulu museum and build another Xhosa museum.
Okay.
If museum that is there can accommodate everybody else.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Obviously, there's opposition to it. Just lastly, I have to find out about the 22 million rand flag project, the failed one, because it's not going ahead. There was over R1 million spent already, I believe. Just tell me whether you can get that money back, because it's obviously wasted.
I think you're moving from a very wrong premise, Shahan, on that issue. The issue of doing feasibility study informs your scientific interventions that are also informed by facts. So failed, I'm not sure what that means. In my understanding, when you say something that is on a planning stage, you say it has failed. When you are then saying you are reviewing it, you are looking at how best it can be addressed, you can't call that a failed project, and that there is wasteful expenditure. It would be incorrect, because the feasibility study is what is assisting us on how best we can deal with this issue of having a monumental flag. I think the minister and the president have spoken on this matter, and I would like us to be given a space to address the issue as based by on the directives we have received from the minister and what the president have said on the issue.
So the president said that he told the minister to scrap it. So are you saying that's not the case? Has something changed?
That is not what I'm saying, and it would be incorrect. I'm saying the minister and the president have spoken on this matter. What you need to give us now as a department is to then address what has been given to us as the instruction by our principals. And that is what we're going to do. So I cannot then be able to change those instructions by our principals.
Okay, well, I'm not going to remove any wording that says it was failed, because it was a failed project. The fact is that your minister was punting this project for weeks, and then due to public discourse, the president eventually said, let's scrap it. So that means money was spent on a project that was not going to see its fruition, and that is a wastage of public money. Thank you so much for your time. DG for the Department of Arts, Sports and Culture, Vusumuzi Mkhize.